Hello everyone, welcome to the Tim Booker channel. Wishing you all a pleasant listening experience. Today, the book I'm delving into is called The Alignment Problem, Machine Learning and Human Values, by Brian Christian, a best-selling author known for his focus on cutting-edge trends in computer science. In this book, Christian addresses one of the most critical issues in the field of artificial intelligence. Alignment refers to ensuring that AI's values align with human values. Put simply, it's about making artificial intelligence more akin to humans. In sci-fi, we often encounter scenarios where AI, becoming more intelligent than humans, subjugates humanity, turning humans into slaves. At times, humans try to impose rules on AI, but they don't always succeed. For instance, you might have heard of Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics, where the first law states that a robot cannot harm a human being. However, in Asimov's stories, once robots gain control, they confine all humans to their homes, reasoning that to protect humans from harm, caused by their conflicts, they must restrict their movements. Back in 1942, when these stories were born, they were merely the whimsy of a fiction writer. But today, these concerns are no longer mere fantasies. AI is increasingly intervening in people's lives, determining what product stores recommend, suggesting videos on websites, deciding whether a bank should increase your credit limit, selecting potential dates for matchmaking services, even influencing hiring decisions at companies, or whether a person should be granted bail in a court case. Behind these decisions, more and more AI algorithms are at work. The book presents an intriguing metaphor. As AI grows in capability and spans more domains, humans resemble somewhat inept wizards from fantasy novels, grasping some magic but not mastering it entirely, fumbling through incantations and occasionally fearing their own strength. You might intend to summon a small flame, only to conjure a massive fireball. When we realize the incantation's inaccuracy or incompleteness, we scramble to prevent our wisdom from summoning a dreadful dragon. So, how can we prevent issues arising from AI training? This book delves into different algorithms, outlining the respective issues at play and potential solutions. In summary, there are 3 scenarios, and let's take them one by one. Let's start with the first possible issue. You might have heard about a major blunder Google faced in 2015. Google Photos launched a feature where, upon users uploading photos, the site would automatically tag the images using AI technology. For instance, if someone uploaded a picture at the beach with a dog, the AI would tag it as beach trip and dog, aiding users in searching their photos. However, a software engineer discovered an odd label in their photo library, gorilla. This puzzled him as he had never taken pictures of gorillas at a zoo. Upon investigation, he found that it labeled photos of his black friend as gorillas. He posted a screenshot on Twitter with the caption, "Google Photos, you messed up. My friend is not a gorilla." This incident caused an uproar online, leading Google to issue an apology. Why did this problem occur? It wasn't because AI developed thoughts and consciously discriminated against black individuals. Let's insert some background here. There are currently 3 popular algorithms for training AI. Google's image recognition uses a method called supervised learning. It's akin to parents teaching a child, showing them elephants and zebras until the child recognizes them. The issue arises if parents teach the child only red apples and the child sees a green apple, they might mistake it for a pear. Google faced a similar problem. As there were fewer black individuals among Google engineers, the image library used to train AI had more photos of white individuals than black individuals. Consequently, when AI encountered unfamiliar things, it was more prone to errors. You might think that bias like this should be easy to eliminate. In reality, rectifying AI is far more challenging than imagined. Google didn't technically solve the issue, they simply prohibited the gorilla tag. Even if users uploaded genuine gorilla pictures, AI wouldn't tag them as such. Another example from The Alignment Problem illustrates this issue better. Branwen, a computer science student in the US, faced an issue while working on a computer class assignment. She wanted to create a program for humans and computers to play hide and seek. Programming went smoothly, but there was a problem. The robot couldn't recognize Branwen's face. She was a black girl. In the end, she had to use her roommate's face to complete the assignment. As Branwen approached graduation, she participated in a startup competition in Hong Kong and encountered a social robot developed by a Chinese company that also couldn't recognize her face. As Branwen said, "On the other side of the world, I realized the speed at which algorithmic biases spread is as fast as downloading files from the internet." After her master's, Branwen joined a lab at MIT, where she worked on a project called the Inspiration Mirror, an augmented reality mirror providing motivational visual effects when users looked into it, like turning them into lions. The result was excellent, but there was one problem: AI still couldn't recognize Branwen's face. She had to wear a white mask when looking into the mirror herself. Subsequently, Branwen tested face recognition systems developed by Microsoft and IBM and found similar issues. These systems had higher accuracy in identifying male faces by 10% to 20% compared to female faces and higher accuracy in identifying lighter-skinned faces by 10% to 20% compared to darker-skinned faces. Why is it so challenging to solve such problems? Even if we show AI more pictures, wouldn't that solve the issue? Let's look at a pre-AI example that reveals the crux of the problem. In the era of film photography using film rolls, Hollywood photographers used a Shirley card to adjust colors. The card depicted a standard image of a white girl named Shirley, an employee of Kodak. Initially a convenience by Kodak, the Shirley card became an industry standard. Kodak's film production even adjusted its chemical processes based on white skin tones. This seemed reasonable then because most actors and models were white. Consequently, cameras back then couldn't capture black individuals well. Though a camera isn't biased, when people calibrated parameters and film processes based on white individuals, bias crept into the lenses. Imagine even if a black actor and a white actor competed fairly on camera, demonstrating equal talent and appearance, but the black actor consistently looked worse. This could easily lead to their elimination. Conversely, as cameras and film improved targeting white individuals, this became a cyclic process. The subsequent story is somewhat darkly humorous. By the 1960s, Kodak's film showcased better performance for darker shades. You might assume it was due to the civil rights movement, but the actual reason was furniture manufacturers wanting better depiction of dark wood and chocolate companies wanting better depiction of chocolate. Surprisingly, this inadvertently offered opportunities for black actors and models. The AI era mirrors this situation. Behind every facial recognition system is an image library with tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of pictures. These images are the 21st century Shirley cards. Even though it's not one Shirley card but several 100,000 images, the concept remains unchanged, choosing a minority of images to represent and guide the subsequent work. Having a selection means potential bias. This is the first bias of AI, arising due to limited perspectives. Can such biases be eliminated? This book suggests that to eliminate such biases, it's crucial to publicly disclose the dataset used to train AI and allow others to supervise whether it's genuinely representative enough. If the AI being trained will impact many individuals, those affected should be informed whether the materials chosen to train AI genuinely consider everyone among them. Part 2. If we train AI with extensive and comprehensive datasets, does that mean the AI developed won't have biases? Indeed, there is such a training method. As mentioned earlier, AI in image recognition uses a method called supervised learning. In other fields, there's another method called unsupervised learning, where vast amounts of data are fed to AI without specifically labeling each item. Through exposure, AI autonomously identifies patterns and connections within the data. If supervised learning is akin to a teacher instructing a student, unsupervised learning is like letting AI study independently. Since AI is diligent, exposing it to copious data enables self-discovery. Because this method doesn't require prior data labeling, theoretically, AI can analyze an infinite amount of data, avoiding issues stemming from limited perspectives. However, a new problem surfaces at this point. The book presents another case involving Google. Perhaps Google, being a front-runner in artificial intelligence, has accumulated more accomplishments and issues. Google developed an AI that obtained substantial language data from newspapers, magazines, and the Internet. This data was input into a neural network, allowing the AI to discover associations between words on its own. Although the AI may not fully comprehend these languages, through automated learning, it identifies correlations between words. It quickly deduced that New York is related to the United States, Moscow to Russia, and if asked about something related to the UK, it would respond with London. You see, through autonomous learning, the AI understood associations like capital cities and countries. Google's engineers added a feature to this AI that allowed it to perform addition and subtraction between words. Of course, this isn't exactly mathematical addition and subtraction. For instance, if you input Brazil plus river, the AI might answer Amazon. It could also handle more complex equations, such as Paris, France plus Italy, resulting in Rome. Typing king, man plus woman would yield queen. This AI was functioning smoothly until a couple of scientists casually tested it and discovered some issues. When they inputted doctor, man plus woman, the AI's response was nurse. Worse yet, they inputted shopkeeper, man plus woman, and the response was housewife. They even tried computer programmer, man plus woman, and the response remained housewife. In other words, an AI trained in this manner associates professions with genders, assuming certain jobs are inherently suitable for men or women. This isn't because the AI evolved thoughts and consciously discriminated against women. The AI merely finds correlations between words, reflecting the biases present in the massive dataset. Now you might ask, can we erase such biases from the AI, separating professions from genders? The difficulty in this matter surpasses imagination. Many large companies have developed AI systems to assist in resume screening, such as Amazon. Their approach involves showing AI resumes of current employees to understand the characteristics of those employed. When reviewing applicants' resumes, AI selects those most similar to the existing employees. Naturally, candidates resembling the current workforce are considered ideal. However, people found that this system inadvertently carries biases. For instance, if the existing engineering team has more men than women, the AI might assume the company needs more male engineers and, in the process, filter out more female candidates. You might suggest modifying the system, excluding gender, so AI doesn't see the gender of applicants during evaluation. However, resumes still include names. If AI sees a candidate named Mike versus one named Mary, it might favor Mike. If we further modify the system to exclude names, resumes also include interests and hobbies. AI might discern gender based on whether one prefers soccer or softball. Resumes also state alma maters, and if it's a women's college, AI might infer gender from that too. Additionally, men and women have subtle differences in writing styles, a nuance we might not notice but one that AI can discern. With this unsupervised learning approach, AI categorizes people into various groups and erects walls, allowing entry only if one fits specific criteria such as gender or ethnicity. This problem is challenging to solve because we need the uncontrollability of unsupervised learning, yet we can't afford it to be entirely uncontrollable. The purpose of designing such algorithms is to capture hidden correlations in data. For instance, if AI discovers that software engineers who know some Chinese tend to perform better, it might give a preference to candidates with that skill, a trait the company might genuinely need. AI can recognize qualities humans might overlook. However, this kind of correlation is uncontrollable. While companies seek capable individuals or those who can quickly integrate into a team, AI might lean towards a specific gender or ethnicity. Norbert Wiener, the father of cybernetics, said decades ago, "We had better be sure that the purpose put into the machine is the purpose which we really desire." Today, this seems exceptionally prophetic. I encountered another example in the book where human and AI purposes weren't aligned. Entering the 21st century, an increasing number of judges in the U.S. relied on AI to assist in decisions such as whether to grant bail to a certain prisoner. The most popular AI tool among judges is called Compass. Compass assigns a score from 1 to 10 based on a criminal's background, predicting the likelihood of them reoffending upon release. In principle, AI evaluates based on a criminal's past offenses to predict their future behavior. However, when used practically, Compass exhibited significant racial bias. For example, for two drug possession cases with similar circumstances, the AI scored the white offender as a 3 and the black offender as a 10. Where did the problem lie? Was the algorithm flawed? Someone pointed out succinctly that the issue stemmed from problematic historical data. Though the AI's purpose was to predict the likelihood of someone committing a crime, the data couldn't capture whether a person would commit a crime. You might object, saying, but there are police records and court files. Yet, those don't indicate how many people actually committed crimes but rather how many were apprehended by the police and convicted by the court. Therefore, Compass prediction didn't measure the likelihood of a released convict committing another crime, rather, it measured the probability of them being arrested and convicted again. This explains the substantial differences in scores for white and black offenders despite similar cases. In the US, there is indeed harsher treatment of black individuals by law enforcement and the courts. A statement in the book left a lasting impression on me. We previously mentioned that if humans teach AI to recognize apples but only show red apples, it would develop biases. Similarly, if someone consistently mistakes lions for cats, I won't be able to differentiate between lions and cats. Doesn't this scenario increasingly resemble what science fiction authors envisioned? People desire fair law enforcement by AI, but AI inadvertently adopts biases. From this perspective, whether it's supervised or unsupervised learning, problems can arise. Supervised learning may exhibit biases due to limited datasets, ignoring those invisible in the dataset. Unsupervised learning doesn't have this concern, but it's uncontrolled. Sometimes it generates ingenious ideas, sometimes nonsensical ones. Even if it objectively reflects past ideas, if those ideas inherently contain biases, removing them becomes challenging. No matter which method we use to train AI, I'm hesitant to entrust it with the power of judgment. Fortunately, there's another method for training AI. Part 3. Previously, we discussed the 3 most popular algorithms used to train AI. We've delved into supervised learning and unsupervised learning. The third method is called reinforcement learning, where AI receives feedback for every decision it makes, either in the form of a reward or a penalty. Reinforcement learning is akin to a coach training an athlete. Any mistakes are instantly pointed out for correction. The former AlphaGo employed the principles of reinforcement learning. This mechanism seems more reliable, similar to how coaches train athletes or mentors guide apprentices. Most of them follow this approach. However, this method has its potential problems. It might make AI overly focused on actions, while overlooking the underlying vision. An intriguing case in the book involved the author's friend, an economist, training his young son for toilet use while hoping his preschool-aged daughter would participate. To incentivize her, he set a rule: every time his daughter accompanied her brother to the toilet, he'd give her a candy. After a few days, the little girl engaged in what might have been her first logical reasoning. She discovered a loophole in the rule: more water for her brother meant more toilet visits. Consequently, she started giving her brother more water each day. This exemplifies the problem that reinforcement learning might bring about. We often witness similar situations: employees diligently complete tasks daily, ensuring the actions are standardized. Yet, whether these actions genuinely benefit the company or contribute to business development isn't their concern. However, it's not fair to say the employees lack responsibility. Sometimes it's the employer assigning tasks without a clear connection between these actions and the company's development. The relationship between humans and AI mirrors this scenario. Training AI for a game like Go with clear rules is manageable. However, when faced with more complex scenarios, both humans and AI become unclear bosses, unable to ascertain the relationship between actions and vision. What can be done? Presently, computer scientists have devised several approaches to address this issue. One approach involves imitation. If the scenario is complex and can't be broken down into detailed steps or strict reward-penalty rules, then humans demonstrate, and AI mimics. Throughout this process, AI gradually internalizes some of our values. Autonomous driving serves as a prime example. It's challenging to teach AI explicit rules for driving, especially understanding phrases like, drive safely but quickly. Instead, observing an expert driver, especially in complex traffic situations, such as pedestrian crossings or mixed traffic, helps AI learn. Currently, this method stands as the most effective way to train AI in the field of autonomous driving. Another approach, known as inverse reinforcement learning, directly corresponds to reinforcement learning. You can liken reinforcement learning to a game. AI takes various actions, moving forward, backward, jumping, etc. Each action results in a score from the environment as a reward. The AI's goal is to find a strategy that earns it the highest score, possibly exploiting loopholes in the rules in unexpected ways to score points. In reinforcement learning, the rules remain fixed while AI ponders its actions. In inverse reinforcement learning, it's as though AI watches someone else play the game, observes actions like moving forward or backward, and witnesses score fluctuations. AI then tries to deduce the rules of the game. In other words, in inverse reinforcement learning, AI ponders the rules. Using this method, we gain insight into how AI perceives the rules we've set and whether it aligns with our envisioned outcomes. This provides a different perspective since our goal is alignment, and merely examining the problem from the human side might not be enough. We must also consider how AI comprehends it. Thus, inverse reinforcement learning represents a new direction in the field of artificial intelligence. There's another speculative approach currently, a hypothesis you'll notice. The previously discussed methods train individual AIs separately. However, consider a company training new hires. To make a team more efficient, the best training method isn't merely enhancing individual abilities but rather allowing everyone to rotate roles for training, observing what other colleagues are doing, facing various challenges, and handling different pressures. Some computer scientists proposed whether we could apply this approach to AI learning. Training multiple AIs to encourage cooperation among them. This idea is speculative, but if technically feasible, it could be a promising direction. Scientists discovered that an 18-month-old baby could recognize when someone needed help. In a deliberate experiment, a scientist pretended to fall in front of the baby. Though the baby's walking was unsteady, they staggered over to offer help. This ability is exceedingly complex and almost exclusive to humans. Through millions of years of evolution, we humans learned the significance of cooperation. AI might also become more human-like through this process. Here, I've finished decoding the alignment problem for you. You'll discover that getting AI to grasp human values is indeed an immensely intricate issue. The complexity behind this isn't just about technological development or rulemaking. AI acts as a mirror, reflecting our imperfections. What we consider our finest qualities might not be fully understood by us, humans. We also need to reflect on the biases hidden behind our common beliefs. Towards the end of this book, the author recounts a historical segment that seems fitting as the conclusion of this audio segment. In 1952, the BBC produced a program inviting four scientists for a roundtable discussion, debating whether computers could genuinely think. Among the guests was Turing, hailed as the father of computer science and artificial intelligence. Turing said in the program, "Indeed, when a child is educated, parents and teachers constantly intervene either to discourage or encourage certain actions. But when one tries to teach a machine, the situation is different. I conducted some experiments, teaching machines to perform simple tasks. It required significant intervention before any results were obtained. In other words, machines learn too slowly, they need a lot of teaching." At this point, the host interjected, "Who's learning, you or the machine?" Turing replied, "I think we both are." That's the essence of this book. Congratulations on completing another book. Thank you all for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, like, and share this valuable knowledge with friends around you. Let's combine wisdom and practice to achieve our financial goals and create a better future together. Thank you, and goodbye.